who are outside of the Hollywood industry, that are in our community, that see the challenges that we deal with.
In the early 1990s, Larenz Tate emerged as a dynamic force in Hollywood, a young actor from Chicago's West Side whose raw talent and magnetic presence seemed destined to make him a household name. Born on September 8, 1975, as the youngest of three brothers, Tate's journey into acting began almost by accident. When his family relocated to California in 1984, his parents enrolled him and his siblings in a drama program at the Inner City Cultural Center, initially as a way for the boys to meet girls. However, the trajectory of their lives shifted dramatically when their classmate, Malcolm Jamal Warner, landed the role of Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. Acting, once a casual pursuit, became a serious ambition for the Tate brothers. By age 10, Larenz was already making waves, debuting on The Twilight Zone in 1985. Small but memorable roles followed on shows like 21 Jump Street, The Wonder Years, and Family Matters, where he played Willie Huffner, the nemesis of Steve Urkel. These early appearances showcased his versatility and hinted at the star power that would soon explode. In 1993, at just 17, Tate delivered a career-defining performance as O-Dog in the Hughes Brothers' Menace to Society. His portrayal of the volatile, trigger-happy teenager was electrifying, earning praise from critics like Frederick I. Douglass of the Baltimore Black American, who called it instant classic material. Tate's ability to convey menace and unpredictability through subtle expressions made O-Dog one of the most unforgettable characters of the era. What set Tate apart was his range. He wasn't confined to one-dimensional roles. In 1994 as the Inkwell, he displayed his potential as a romantic lead, while 1995's Dead Presidents showcased his ability to carry a gritty Vietnam War drama. Then in 1997 came Love Jones, a cultural touchstone that solidified his status as a leading man. As Darius Lovehall, Tate embodied a smooth, intellectual, artistic black man, a rarity in Hollywood's often stereotypical portrayals. His poetry scene reciting A Blues for Nina captivated audiences, particularly women, and earned him admiration from men for representing a different kind of black masculinity. By the late 1990s, Tate seemed poised to become the next Denzel Washington, a versatile, respected actor with a clean image and undeniable talent. Yet something inexplicable happened. After Love Jones, when Tate should have been flooded with leading man roles, his career began to fade. By 2005, he had all but disappeared from major films. Unlike other Hollywood flameouts, there were no scandals, no arrests, no public meltdowns to explain his absence. Tate remained professional, talented, and respected, yet the major studio roles that should have been his never materialized. Comedian Cat Williams, a vocal critic of Hollywood's underbelly, has long suggested that Tate's disappearance was no accident. According to Williams, Tate's story reveals uncomfortable truths about an industry that punishes those who refuse to conform. To understand what happened, we need to rewind to Tate's early years. Growing up in Chicago, he was shaped by a strong sense of identity and community. His parents' decision to enroll him in the Inner City Cultural Center exposed him to the arts and instilled discipline. His early roles, though small, demonstrated his ability to steal scenes, whether as a tough kid on Family Matters or a troubled youth in Menace to Society. Each performance built his reputation as an actor who could embody complex characters with authenticity. His work in Menace to Society was particularly groundbreaking. Tate's O-Dog wasn't just a villain. He was a product of his environment, a teenager whose cold exterior masked deeper pain. Critics and audiences alike were drawn to his ability to make such a dangerous character feel human. Following Menace, Tate's career gained momentum. The Inkwell allowed him to explore a lighter, more romantic side, while Dead Presidents showcased his dramatic depth as a Vietnam veteran navigating a fractured life. Love Jones, however, was the pinnacle. The film's depiction of black love, creativity, and intellectualism resonated deeply with audiences, and Tate's chemistry with Nia Long was electric. His performance wasn't just acting. It was a cultural statement, presenting a black man who was neither a gangster nor a comic relief, but a fully realized individual. Hollywood, it seemed, had found its next star. But then the trajectory shifted. After 1997, Tate's roles became smaller, often relegated to supporting parts or low-budget projects. Films like Why Do Fools Fall in Love 1998, Love Come Down 2000, A Man Apart 2003, and Crash 2004 featured strong performances, but they weren't the leading man roles his talent warranted. In Crash, for instance, Tate's portrayal of Peter, a carjacker grappling with stereotypes, was nuanced and powerful, yet it was a supporting role in an ensemble cast. By the 2000s, he was appearing more frequently on television, including shows like Power, where he delivered standout performances, but often for significantly less pay than his white counterparts. What makes Tate's fade from prominence so perplexing is the absence of any clear reason. Most Hollywood declines follow a predictable pattern: substance abuse, legal troubles, or box office flops. Tate, however, had none of these. He maintained a clean image, free of controversy or embarrassing headlines. So why did the industry turn its back on him? Cat Williams offers a provocative theory. Hollywood rewards compliance and punishes integrity. According to Williams, the industry imposes submission tests on actors, particularly black actors, to gauge their willingness to conform. These tests, he claims, often involve humiliating rituals designed to ensure control. One of Williams' most cited examples is the expectation that black male actors wear dresses in films, a symbolic act of submission that has become a recurring pattern in Hollywood. Williams points to numerous black actors and comedians, Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy, Tyler Perry, Jamie Foxx, who have worn dresses in major productions and subsequently enjoyed massive success. He argues that this isn't a coincidence, but part of a broader system of control. Dave Chappelle, for instance, has spoken about being pressured to wear a dress for a scene that didn't require it. When he refused, he noticed a shift in how he was treated, eventually walking away from a $50 million deal with Comedy Central. Williams suggests that Tate faced a similar test and chose to walk away, prioritizing his dignity over Hollywood's demands. Industry whispers support this theory. Sources suggest Tate consistently turned down roles that perpetuated negative stereotypes: drug dealers, gang members, absentee fathers, roles Hollywood has long relied on to depict black men. There are also rumors that he was offered dress-wearing roles and refused, a decision that reportedly marked a turning point in his career. Tate himself has hinted at this, stating in interviews that he placed a higher value on himself than Hollywood did and refused to do some of the same things they wanted me to do. These cryptic comments suggest he was unwilling to compromise his principles, even at the cost of his career. Spike Lee's observations about Hollywood's preference for black pain and dysfunction provide further context. Lee has noted that the industry is comfortable with narratives that depict black suffering because they're profitable and non-threatening to existing power structures. Tate's portrayal of Darius in Love Jones, however, challenged this norm. Darius was a successful, artistic black man who defied stereotypes, a character that could inspire audiences and demand change. For Hollywood, this was dangerous. A black actor who refused to play stereotypical roles and maintained his integrity posed a threat to the system. As Cat Williams argues, Hollywood has an unspoken cap on how many respectable black leading men can shine at once. One may be elevated, think Denzel Washington, but others are often relegated to sidekicks or stereotypes. Tate's refusal to conform came with consequences. By the early 2000s, major studio roles dried up. His agent stopped receiving offers for big-budget films, and entertainment media stopped covering him. Award shows no longer invited him to present. The industry didn't need to smear him. They simply erased him from the conversation. Financial pressure compounded the issue. By 2014, Tate faced lawsuits over unpaid credit card bills, a stark reminder that even talented actors struggle when opportunities vanish. Desperate for work, he joined Power, a decision his agent reportedly opposed, warning it could harm his career. Tate took the role because he believed in the project, but he later admitted he was paid peanuts for it. This pattern of exclusion isn't unique to Tate. Actresses like Monique and Taraji P. Henson have faced similar repercussions for speaking out about pay disparities and systemic inequities. Monique, after calling out Netflix for offering her a fraction of what white comedians earned, was labeled difficult and sidelined for years. Henson broke down on live television, expressing exhaustion at being undervalued despite her talent. The message is clear: comply or be cast aside. Tate's story, however, is particularly tragic because he never wavered. Even under financial strain, he maintained his principles, refusing roles that compromised his values. In a 2020 interview, Tate spoke candidly about the systemic barriers black artists face. He highlighted the lack of black-owned platforms, noting that without control over production and distribution, black artists remain dependent on white-owned systems. He also challenged Hollywood's long-standing narrative that black actors don't have international appeal, a justification used to pay them less. Tate's global travels reveal the opposite. Black artists are beloved worldwide, yet Hollywood profits by undervaluing them. These statements were bold, exposing the industry's exploitative practices and likely sealing his fate.